Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Third Coast Reptile right here on YouTube. Today we are going to a very good friend of mine's place. He loves Redfoot tortoises. We've been chatting back and forth, and now the time has come. He's going to let us see his entire backyard enclosure. It is awesome. I have very good thoughts and ideas about this for my enclosure based on what he has done in his. He's very knowledgeable. He knows a very good amount about plants, and I don't know anything about plants. And there's also a surprise in the video that I wasn't expecting, but you guys will see that when you watch the video. Also, don't forget when you're in Under the Show segment where I answer one of your questions right here on Third Coast Reptile.
Lock it whenever I don't have a key on me.
Okay.
Then I just drop the rain fly in case it's a shitty day or weather out. But, oh, hey Tilly.
You guys are out already, huh?
Yeah, I took them out earlier today.
How many do you have left in here?
I have I have two adults. I have one sub-adult, although he tries to mate all the time. He's a,
That's about that.
yeah, that's the cherry head that I have, the male. Yeah. And then all the babies are in here.
Okay.
And your baby's in there. Your baby will be the shiniest one, so I don't know where she is. She might be inside because I always shine them up with a little coconut oil before I give them away.
Kind of a new car, huh?
Yeah. Give everybody a little. And I had to take this. I used to have the bark up on here.
Okay.
The bugs get underneath.
Oh, okay.
And then they start eating away at the wood. So this is, again, this is framed out. It's this thick. Oh, if you go in there and look, all of these inside boxes are this thick all the way around.
Okay.
So nothing's going to get in there unless it has a chainsaw with it.
Right. Alright guys, I am here with my friend Eddie, and he is going to be donating a tortoise to Third Coast Reptile. Let's go ahead and show them what that tortoise looks like.
Let's do it.
Very cool. You know, anytime you have friends that are in the hobby and you share interests like this, it's, you know, I came here, this is my second visit here, and this enclosure blew me away the first time I came here. It gave me ideas for my enclosure at my house that I'm working on. And let me tell you, this one is not only beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, but it's very functional. And you can tell these guys are happy campers inside this enclosure. So this is the guy here, huh?
Yep, this is usually, she's usually in the baby pen over there. I did incubate them at a higher temperature.
That's at this enclosure on this side here, and I showed you guys some footage.
That's just for the baby, strictly.
So this one's going to come home with us. This will be number 10 of our Redfoot tortoises.
I wanted you to have an even number.
That's right. Yeah. Very pretty. And how old is this one?
She was hatched out in January of 2020.
2020, so she's 4 years old now.
I don't power feed Like a lot of people will feed when they're young.
Right.
And that's fine, but you can see where she's got a little not pyramiding so much, but she's getting there.
Honestly, I don't think that's drastic. I know so many people are worried about pyramiding and how much is acceptable versus not, and everybody's after that super smooth shell, but a lot of that super smoothness is from being out in the wild, and it gets ground down.
Exactly.
So it's almost impossible in captive breeding to have a perfectly smooth shell. So you're going to have pyramiding regardless.
You have a lot of branches and a lot of rocks from them rub up, and I found that when they're climbing over each other in different situations, that helps.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Because I have another little female over here that she's going to be a resident because she had birth issues. Oh, she's still eating. Sorry about that, Lillian. But she's a lot smoother than the rest because she has this little issue since she was born right there.
Uh-huh.
And people might go, oh, shell rot, but this was from birth. She's always had that marking or that hole there.
Uh-huh.
And she's the oldest one here. She's older than there. You can see the size difference.
Right.
And she's a year older. So you can see the size difference right there. Because she eats slower. She doesn't have as much. These guys chow down constantly.
Otherwise healthy, though?
Oh, yeah, she's fine. Like I said, she's always going to be here with me anyway. Her mother is
coming or in the shell there? In the shell, in the loft.
Under the shell.
Under the shell, yeah.
Free plug. I don't know where Tilly went. She might be over by her other log.
There's two in there, and then are you talking about the
big Venezuelan?
Oh, back there in the back.
Yeah, that's her mom, and she's got the same. You can see the same shape even as the mother. Whereas this took after the father, and it has more of that dome. This has like bread loaf.
Yeah.
Like shape. But she's had this. It's all hard. But she's had this hole since the day she was born. She came out, well, I can tell you why. We lost power. The incubation box lost power.
Yeah.
And that was the result. She almost died, and I got her out. I got her warmed up. We went to a hotel to keep her warm, the eggs, and she was the only one that survived that batch, and I kept her because she was a winner.
Yeah, and that, again, that's a testament of, taking care of these guys. You can't predict everything, and with a power outage, there's not a lot of options when it comes to incubation. And
in January.
Yeah, in January, exactly. Yeah. Very cool. So let me ask you this: what is the future for this place?
To get wilder, to get thicker, more growing in, and we're going to have 5 residents, and that's all.
And that's it.
If we ever do incubate again, I'll ask you if you know anybody that wants them, because
I think after this I'm going to be full at home. I'm not going to have any more room.
Oh, and you could let people know about these little. I don't want to get you wet, but these are automatic sprinklers. So if we do get a raccoon in there, I can turn it on if you back up.
Hang on, let me get out of the way. Yeah.
And let me turn the water source on right quick.
And these are to do what?
If a raccoon gets in here and thinks he's going to have a good time digging up eggs, we get sprayed. It'll kick on. It's just I just turned the water source back on.
Yeah.
Here, we'll do that. And
okay.
They run right back out. They run up the trees. They try to get away as fast as possible.
That's a cool security system.
Raccoons like water, but they don't like getting sprayed with water.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like
this is great. Yeah. Too bad he passed away, but I liked his place too.
But yeah, so we're just gonna let it get more grown in. I want to kind of keep the bushes, the rosewood sharon, the mulberries, all at about 6 feet for me, so I can work in here easier.
Yeah.
But it'll be thick enough for them to enjoy it. But they've been here for 6 years and they love it.
Cool.
The large female is Colombian and he's Brazilian. So that's why they don't ever, he's not going to ever, no eggs are going in the ground anymore. Or they're going in the ground, but they're not going in the incubator anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the same species lined up, so I won't do that. But when I got her bred. I got her bred with, she's in that log,
Yeah, I
with
got
another Colombian, and then I got her bred with a Venezuelan. So what you'll have is pure Venezuelan. They get a little bit bigger.
the hatchlings that are in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my Colombians are all gone. The only ones that are left are Venezuelan from her. And she's my all-time favorite anyway. I love them all, but that's my baby. It's like your guy who passed on.
Yeah.
I had her from
Benny.
the start.
Yeah. Yeah. So how big is this enclosure?
It is, all totaled, I always say 555 square feet, but it's about 500 square feet.
Okay.
And it looks small until you, like, really...
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful enclosure. I really love what you've done here. Again, just like last time, you know, I'm always impressed with, you know, naturalistic looking enclosures like this. A lot of everything in here is edible. You know, it's clearly taken care of very, very well. And I like, you know, you got the outside here. You know, if you want to grow more stuff out here that they don't want to chew up before they have a chance to be full grown, all the way down here. There's more stuff down that way.
Side yard as well. This whole patch over here.
Let's walk over that way. Check that out.
There might be one or two plants that aren't edible, but I know before I even pick them up which they can eat and which they can't. But this is a whole patch for them.
I mean, that's dedication, guys. Very, very cool. And of course, it's raining, so this is going to be a short video today. But you guys can see everything here is all edible.
Well, almost all edible. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea.
Yeah. You pick through it. You know what you're doing. But
take a bite. It's edible for you too. Take some.
It's cool. That's probably one of the best grocery stores you guys can get right here when it's free, because you're constantly regrowing it every year and then getting bigger gardens as you go. Here's more stuff over here.
Anything that...
Now, what are we looking at here? What is this
Anything we don't use goes to compost, so we can get the soil.
Okay.
100% organic from on property, no chemicals ever used. I take the soil out of there, I reinvigorate the yard, get the plants to thrive a little bit more, and then same thing every fall.
Very nice. Cool.
Focus on that. Let them know that. And the cameras are everywhere.
Yeah, and you have to, yes, you have to have security here. You guys can see up there. Yeah, you gotta watch out for people. You know, you live in a city area like this, which you wouldn't really know you're living in near town in a place like this, but it really is. It's close to town, so you have to have cameras and stuff, and that's understandable. Now, besides people, what other predators do you have around here?
We get coyotes. They don't come in the yard anymore. We do have dogs.
Okay.
Upstairs, dogs aren't free range, but they come out enough to keep anything away. We have raccoons. We have possums. We have a ton of different kinds of squirrels. We have chipmunks, red squirrels. We have eastern squirrels. We have black fays and gray fays. They do not bother the tortoises. I have been asked that a billion times because there's old books that have literature about them chewing on the shells for calcium.
Really?
I've never experienced that in 44 years of keeping tortoises. So, possibly, sure, if you want to live that way and that much paranoia, you can. But I suggest you just put your animals away at dusk and kind of keep an eye on them when you can.
I mean, that's really the best thing for them. You want to make sure that they're well taken care of overnight. When you really can't see them, that's when they're most vulnerable.
See if I can find your new girl. Oh, she's right here.
Got questions? Get your answer right here on Under the Shell. Alright guys, for today's Under the Shell segment, it is coming from Eddie. Eddie's all over this video today, so he's going to be doing the Under the Shell question today. And that question is, well, it's two parts. You're getting 2 for 1 today. The first part of the question was, what is the first tortoise that I've ever owned? And the second question is, what was the first reptile I've ever owned? And surprisingly, guys, they are different. So, to answer the first part here, the first tortoise I've ever owned was a sulcata tortoise named Sylvester. And I had him for a long time. I think I had him for, I want to say like 4 years-ish. Yeah, about 4 years. And for sulcata tortoises, that's not long at all. But Unfortunately, what happened at my old house where I lived, he was outside grazing during the summertime, and I went inside to answer a phone call, and then I came back outside and he was gone. Somebody had stopped and picked him up. It was kind of a busier street. I checked everywhere for this guy. I spent the next 3 days looking for this guy, but ultimately he disappeared. So yeah, somebody picked him up. I hope that they understood that he was a tortoise and not a turtle, and treated him that way. So unfortunately, it's kind of a bittersweet first story for you. I'm sorry, but that's what happened with my first tortoise. Now, my very first reptile was actually a lizard. It was a green anole lizard, and I got him when I was like 6 years old, I think. My dad and my mom got me a lizard, and a funny story about that. So I didn't know what I was doing. I was very young, didn't do my research, and ultimately the lizard died. It was, I don't know, it wasn't long. I had him maybe a month or so, and I remember telling my mom, I was like, "Is it dead? Is it really dead? No, it can't be dead. Is it dead, Mom?" And the eyes were sunk in, and it was just shriveled up. It was clearly dead, and I didn't understand that concept as a kid. But kind of I guess as a bonus here, the timeline that I had with reptiles were like, I had the lizard, and then when I was about 9 or 10 years old, my dad gave me a three-toe box turtle, and I really enjoyed the box turtle. He was great, full grown. That was back when you can go to the mall and pick them up at the pet store. It's my dog coming in for his segment here. But yeah, I got him at the mall. I remember he used to walk through. They had this big line of people that went all the way out the door, and you got to shoulder rub through the store. You'd stop and look at the animal, and then you had to keep going because the people behind you were trying to get in. It was like that every Saturday, and I loved it. I love those memories. But after the three-toe box turtle, I think the next one was my sulcata tortoise that I had. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed them. And then after the sulcata, I got into redfoots, and then boom, here we are with everything that I have. So great question, Eddie. Thank you. All right, guys. So if you want your question answered, you can do so in 3 ways. Number 1, you can get your question answered right here in the comment section of this video. You can also go to the Third Coast Reptile community chat and get your question answered there, or simply go to Facebook page Third Coast Reptile and get your question answered there.
The bigger trees, because they'll get full sun in the morning. It'll wake them up. And they'll get it until about noon.
Okay.
And then once it's over here, they'll get dappled sunlight in patches, and they'll exploit those patches. And then towards the end of the day, the sun comes in that way and hits the pen. So they're never under direct sunlight without a place to hide.
Which is good, because if you know anything about redfoots, they actually don't get full sunlight every day like a sulcata tortoise, because they live in dense forest areas.
Which is why we're trying to mimic a forest for them here.
Which, yeah, it's great. You got great foliage here. I mean, this is perfect for them.
You can see where I butcher the trees, though, getting them food every once in a while.
Yeah, a little snack here or there at the old buffet, huh?
Yeah. And also, this is a red mulberry here, and it's about
That's
3
a mulberry
stories
there.
high.
Wow, that's a big tree.
So we don't do the fires as much these days because I like to utilize the fruit.
Yeah,
the leaves
yeah.
here. But as soon as it gets a little cooler out, and these are all already past the point that the tortoises want them, we'll kick our fires back up.
Always raccoons you got to deal with, in the wild. Of course, being here in Michigan, it's not their natural habitat, but you still have predators to deal with. You guys see my other videos, I actually listed some of those predators that you would have to watch out for. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching today's video. Thanks to my friend Eddie here to help me out and donate another tortoise to my massive collection that I have at home. And it's always fun hanging out here, guys. I love his setup. I love his enclosures, and you guys heard this guy knows his stuff, and I love hanging out with people that have this much passion in the reptile community. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Later.